Hi, Kristen. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. I am
Good.
glad that you were able to make it today. Well, just a few days ago, the time changed. This is a time when people think that 1 hour will give them enough rest. They will catch up on their rest. So, how was the time change for you?
Time change for me has been challenging because it gets darker earlier. So when I get off work, it's already dark.
Uh-huh.
And so all the challenges and all the things I need to do in the evening has made it difficult to do with the time change.
Oh, so this is not one of the best times for you, the
No,
time
it's
change.
it's been a challenge for me.
Okay. Well, what I would like to do before we start Day is first of all, what I have told you before in the past few sessions, do a mood check. I want to see how your week went on a scale on 1 to 10, with 1 being a week was great. 1 is your week was great, and 10 means no, it was a bad time.
Okay.
Okay. So on a scale on 1 to 10, how was your week?
I would say my week was about a 6.
A 6. So
Yeah.
that's like somewhat midway. How
Midway.
your week went.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we will do today, I just want to give you an overview. This is the part we call setting the agenda. I will review your homework. We will discuss the homework that you did. Then after that, I will ask you about your mood check. We will discuss what that 6 means and what things you would like to discuss today.
Okay.
Then after that is complete, when we are nearing the end, I will give you a summary of what we discussed.
Okay.
Then I would do something that I would call a check to see if that I was on point or if there was something else I misunderstood. Then we will have some homework again, okay?
Okay.
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 So now what we would like to do is just get an update on how your week went. You said a 6, and in what way it made it a 6?
Well, I had a lot of challenges on my job this week.
Okay.
I feel like that my boss was looking to have a lot of things from me and have a lot of things done and projects with end dates that it was a challenge for me to meet. And maybe it's a little bit unrealistic for them to expect me to meet. But anyway, I had a challenging time at work meeting those projects, and then also at home with the amount of homework that the children had and what things my husband was expecting from me in terms of dinner and housework and things of that nature, things that, I guess that we have said that a wife should do. It's just been a challenging week to meet all of those demands.
Okay.
I say a 6 because I don't feel like I met them all. I mean, I think I'm very average in what I'm accomplishing, and maybe just one step over average.
Okay. So before we would do all of that, let me just discuss the homework that you did last week.
Okay.
Remember, your homework was to at least spend some time with yourself, do something that you would like to do, and that will gonna help relieve your stress. We refer to it as me time, and then you agree that you will find I could take 2 times out of this week to have some me time. So how did that go?
My me time went good. I had an opportunity to go to dinner with some old high school friends that I had not done that with, and it felt really good to just be able to just laugh and talk and not have the worries of everyday stress. So that's probably what attributes to my week being a 6 more than it being a 5, is the fact that I did take some me time with my friends.
Okay.
So it went very well for me, I think.
Okay. So from what you were saying, that the homework was a positive experience for you.
Yes. If it hadn't been for homework, I may not have done it. So it was good that I was made to do, that I felt like I had to do it, take some time.
So do you think that's something that would be something you would like to continue in the future?
Yes.
Okay.
I do think I want to continue it, and I guess I have to schedule it to be the thing that, I want to continue it though.
Okay. So now let's go back to what we were discussing, how your week went. You were saying that it's a 6 because first your boss have a lot of things for you to do, and that created stress for you.
Yes.
And also I heard you mention about the home life right now, the homework you have to help your kids with. Your husband think you are not really being the wife that you are supposed to be, and that is causing some problems. So you want to talk about your work, plus you also the stress at work. Then you also want to talk about your what is going on at home.
Yes.
With your husband. So do you think that's what we would like to work on today, or is there something else?
No, I would like to talk about those things today.
Okay.
And work on those things today.
Okay. So which one would you like to start with?
I guess start with my work.
Okay. So can you please tell me more about what is going on between your boss and you that you think that your boss is not pleased with you right now?
Well, I just feel like right now I'm doing two people's jobs. We have someone that's out on long-term disability, so I'm stepping up and doing the job of two people. And I feel like that they sometimes forget that I'm actually doing two people's job. And so when certain deadlines come up, or they wanted me to have certain projects completed at a certain time, I guess I'm looking to them to say, well, what, do you not remember that I'm having to do two people's jobs? And that there's a lot on me. It's not that I can't do it, but it may not be necessarily at the exact time frame that they're looking for.
Okay, so when they're expecting you to have these things done within a certain time, and it sounds as if you think that's not a realistic goal, what is exactly going through your mind at that time?
I guess going through my mind is how come they can't see that we may need to set new timelines for this. That it's not just, it's no longer one person doing one job, but it's one person doing two people's job. Okay. So instead of expecting me to have that done in 2 days, maybe we need to expect for me to have that done in 3 days. I guess I just want them to consider that I am stepping up to do more than just my job, the job that I was hired to do.
Okay. So you're saying that they have a bit more expectations, which is not realistic for you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that they're supposed to probably give you a break. Now, have you thought about a different way that you could convey that to them? Because it seems if you're just thinking about it, but you have not conveyed it to them, to your boss. Have you thought about a way that you could get that point across?
No, I guess I haven't really thought about how I could say it or get that point across. I've kind of let them know that I needed more time, but I figured that they would think about why I did, since I'm doing two people's job.
Okay.
But they would know, I needed more time.
Okay. It seems that you have not really conveyed to them. Now, I was thinking, if you had a friend who was in that predicament, in that they had a job, they were doing their job plus someone else's job, what advice or what would you say to them how to handle that situation?
I probably would say to them that they need to explain to their boss, hey, don't you remember that I'm doing more than one person's job, and kind of bring it to their attention about how they felt like it wasn't realistic to meet those time frames. That's the advice I would give to somebody else. Is to go to your boss and say, hey, that maybe these time frames aren't realistic.
Okay. Now, do you see yourself that same thing apply to you? That same advice might apply to Amir?
Yes, I do. I didn't really think about it that way till just now, but I do see how that same advice could apply to me,
Okay.
and how I could say that to my bosses, to let them know to let them know where I'm coming from.
Okay. So, do you think that there is ways that you could say that to them? Have you thought about any way that you could approach them in that it would be convincing to them to rethink this? The time limits they have on you and the demands they have on you.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I just go to them and let them know exactly how I feel, then maybe they'll look at what those time limits mean or what they are. If not, then maybe it's not a good job fit for me. But I think maybe if I go to them, that they may listen and say that. Again, I hadn't thought about that before, but maybe now that we're talking about it, maybe it's something I could go to them and talk to them about.
Okay. Well, in just summarizing what we have just discussed, you were saying that because of your job right now, you're doing your work plus the job of someone else.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they have unrealistic expectation.
Right.
We talk about if it was another friend, somebody in your position who was going through the same thing, the advice you would give them.
Right.
Okay. So you said you would tell them to go to the boss. So I was wondering, you think if I was on point with what you were thinking, or did I misunderstood, or I did not get it right?
No, I think you're on point for what I was saying and what I was thinking. It's just a matter of me being able to go and convey it, to be able to say it.
Okay. And since we think it might take a little bit of being on point, it's not what you say, it's how you say. Probably your homework could be
Okay.
just thinking of ways where you could approach your boss. Probably what is the best way, what I should mention,
Okay.
what I should not mention.
Okay.
Coming up with a game plan of how to approach your boss and what you want to see the outcome is.
Okay.
Now, how do you feel about that assignment?
I feel good about that. I feel like that may help me to see how I can start to change things on my job,
Okay.
things I'm dealing with.
And do you think that it's something doable, something you would like to work on
Yes, I would like to
for
work.
your
Yes,
assignment?
I would like to work on this for my assignment.
Okay.
I do think it's doable.
Okay. Then next week we could pick up and see how that went.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. While we were talking about how your week went, you said that your week went probably a 6, which was midstream, and one of the contributing factors was your your relationship with your husband and how he perceived it at this time.
Right.
Can you please tell me more about that?
Well, I mean, part of that, not only with dealing with the stressors at work, which I'm sure I'm taking home, some of the stressors on my job, but then I come home and I've got to be the wife that I guess my husband expects me to be, and I guess I feel like I'm falling short because he's constantly pointing out that I'm not cooking dinner like like I have been, or I'm not washing the clothes like I have been, or keeping the house clean like I have been, and so it's just always something that I'm not doing
Okay.
when I come home.
So it sounds like to me that your husband is saying, or you feel as your husband is saying, that you are not being the wife that he thought you were going to be.
Right.
And whatever and it sounds if you believe that what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that, because it's like I can't. I'm not managing to do the things I used to do. I am not cooking dinners. I'm not cleaning the way I need that I was, or I feel like I should, and so it makes me feel like I'm failing. I'm failing as a wife and a mother.
Okay, so I just heard you say that you feel as if you are failing as a wife and as a mom.
Yes.
Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, which saying I really believe 10 is I really believe this. I am not a good wife or mom. And 1 mean no, that's not really, really true. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe that you are not a good wife or mom?
I would say I'm a 5.
Okay.
I believe I'm not the worst, and I believe I'm nowhere near the best. And so I believe I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm only right in the middle.
Okay.
I'm only right in the middle.
So, you think that you are a 5. And is evidence do you have that you're really not a 5? I know you say you're not cooking as you should. You're
Right.
not doing the laundry as you should. But what evidence you have?
Well, I mean that, and then that my husband tells me that that I'm not doing those things. He's pointing out to me
Okay.
that I'm not doing the things I used to do.
Okay. So, what is your definition of a good wife? For example, do you think a good wife is a wife who cooks 5 days a week, whatever? What is your definition?
I guess maybe I'm not clear on my definition of what good is. But I thought good was somebody that does every day. It cooks every day and cleans every day and does everything every day
Okay.
that's needed for her husband and her children.
Okay. Now, on the other end, what are some of the things you think you're doing that can make you think that you're a good wife?
That I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I love my family and I love my husband and my children, and so I do as much as I can for them. I do as much as I can. If I can get home to cook, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I clean, and I do care about their well-being, and I try to do everything I can to to love them and protect them and do for them.
Okay. I was just wondering, and I am curious also, what will your kids think about you, not the wife part, but what would your kids think about how the mom is, who the mom is?
My kids probably think highly of me. They probably think that I do good, and I'm there for them and do what I can for them. Um, I don't think my kids grade me as the way that I grade myself.
Okay. Okay. So let's just do a little phrase thing here.
Okay.
If I am a good wife, let's just fill in the blanks.
Okay.
If I am a good wife, then I will be doing what?
If I am a good wife,
Mm.
then I will be making sure that my husband's needs are taken care of.
Okay. And what ways are you making sure this is happening
Oh,
right now?
that when he comes home, that he has a dinner made and a clean house.
Okay.
Yes.
And some of those things being accomplished right now.
I'm doing some of those things. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, Is there a way you could think, because I could remember we talked about these automatic thoughts that, we will have these things that pop into our head that we are not, for example, since my husband is saying these things, then I know I am not a good wife.
Yeah.
So, we were just talking about some of the things that you have been doing to show that you are a good wife. So do you think there's a way you could rethink or rephrase all of the things that you are doing to come up with a conclusion about how you are as a wife?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could think, instead of looking at the things that maybe I'm not doing some of the time, I could focus on the things that I'm doing most of the time. And most of the time I'm doing those things.
All right.
I guess I just need to let myself not be perfect, and I can't do everything all the time, but some of the times I am doing those things. So maybe I should focus my thoughts on those times, the times that I'm doing the things I need to do.
Okay. What I would like to do is summarize, because our time is about to wind down,
Okay.
what we have been talking
Okay.
about your role at home, and you were having these thoughts, these beliefs, that you are not a good wife, and that was being influenced by what your husband was saying, the things he think that you are supposed to be doing, that will define you as a good wife. We discussed things that you have been doing and how you could refocus your thought, and we talk about the evidence to prove the wise. What do you think that I have covered everything, or was I a bit off point?
No, I think you covered everything that I've been working through.
Is there something that I said or did that you were not pleased with?
No.
During this session?
No.
Okay. What I would like to do to consider what we think we could do as a homework, and I would like your input on that. At times we have to see things on paper to really weigh things out, and probably you could have a paper and you divide it in half. Just draw a line down, and you will list on one side the positive things that you're doing, that make you think that you're a good wife. Then on the other side, you will do the things that you think not making you a good wife.
Okay.
Then you will weigh those things out.
Okay.
Then see where you are, whether you think you're a good wife or a bad wife. Then probably we could work on how we could change some of those things that you are not comfortable with. And probably that's what we could discuss when we are going over your homework. Now, do you think that's a homework you would like to do, or you think that there is something else?
No, I would like to do that, because I'm trying to get to where I can really change the way I think about my situation. So this is the homework I would like to do.
Okay.
I'm writing it down.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you came today, and I thank you for all of your input during the session, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good week.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.